What's going on, everybody? Brian Lambert here for another episode of Behind the Comics, where we take a slightly more intimate look at the process, the mindset, and all those things of creators that we have been following, that are up and coming, and that are hitting and making noise in the indie scene. So today I have a very special guest. This is a man that I met kind of like I met Malachi, talking mess on the internet, making jokes, just part of the community. When I first met him, I didn't know that he was a novel writer and had been doing podcasts for his character, but I very quickly got very interested in it. And I'm talking about none other than Morgan Iverson of LumberJax fame, who is with Fourth Wall Productions, obviously alongside Danny J. Quick and a bunch of other talented people. Morgan Iverson is a guy who I've actually sat on a live with for like 2 hours, and I normally wouldn't do that for anybody, but this dude is that special, he's that important, that opinionated, and kind of that dude. So without further ado, here is Morgan Iverson.
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
I'm glad to have you here, man. Thank you for joining us. We were talking off camera, and obviously I know you're pretty hyped, so I want to give you the chance to let everybody know why you hype, because it's your thing.
All right. Well, first I'm hyped because the last I checked, I think we were $257 away from reaching the goal, for the Kickstarter for LumberJax #3, which has me extremely hyped and extremely anxious. You know how that goes because you always. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, but I'm actually gonna pop up the link right now too. Just a second, you can go ahead and keep
okay.
Going. I'm sure the link is in the comments.
I appreciate that. So I'm very excited about getting LumberJax #3 out there and the reception so far. I'm hoping in the next 23 days, 24 days, that we can really, be able to find some new audiences to look in on LumberJax as we continue to update the page as we get new things in. So that's my first reason for being hyped, because we're literally only $257 away, and we still got a lot of people.
Danny threw that up there just so you know. Danny is much quicker than I am.
Appreciate you, sir.
With the link. So I want to do something real quick because I actually knew Danny was going to be in here even without asking. So I'm going to go back a couple shows ago, and it was on your podcast actually. I came in, I chimed in. There was a conversation, and we compared people to The Rock and Stone Cold.
Okay.
I'm going to go on record and say that Danny took the analogy and was then completely wrong about which was the flashier one and which wasn't. He didn't want to invite me on the show. I didn't get to say that to him face to face. I'm going to say it now on my show because he can't stop me.
That's right.
Completely wrong. We all agreed, we didn't agree on the point, but we all agreed who played which part, except for Danny. And that makes me mad because Danny's Danny. He's going to do that to me, I guess, occasionally, and there's nothing I can do about it. But
correct.
No, man. No, Danny. No.
That's correct. We go through this every show. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because usually it's me and Javon, and then But Danny, I love my bro, man. I swear, if we're not blood, it's very close to it. And those who know us, know what I'm saying, know we are the pretty much the entire front for Fourth Wall Comics, and Ace Blade, he's the originator of Fourth Wall Comics. He taught me into doing it, but I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, I appreciate that dude, man. So he's probably also salty at the moment, and I wish I had some salt. I wish I had some salt right here. For those who do not understand, because you're not from North Carolina, there is the largest rivalry in college sports, Duke and Carolina basketball, and that game just ended about 20 minutes ago, and we slapped fire out of them tonight. As Coach K's last game, coaching in the Dean Dome, I'm doing everything I can to contain my excitement. So, you know what I'm saying? We are this close to reaching the goal, and I get to watch Coach K. It's his last year coaching.
Yeah.
And I get to watch him go into Carolina and destroy. We beat them. They did not lead the game once. We were up by 19 points the whole game. We won by 21 points. Oh my God. this night cannot get better. You know what? The only thing that's gonna make this night better is that I get fully funded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before this night with. If that happens, you might not see me no more, bro. I might transcend. It might be an Elijah moment, and God's gonna have to bring me back on earth because I'm gonna go up in the clouds. And, y'all don't understand how hype I am right now.
Yeah. So you're at 42, 43, and I did want to ask, right? Because I want to get into a couple of things about LumberJax and how you storytell, obviously.
Okay.
But coming from what appears to be from the outside, right? And because I don't want to put anything on you, but coming from a Christian background, which is likely pretty strict. I mean, I've seen you and Danny, like when you guys have done the choir thing. I grew up as a church kid, so I know how it is. So how does that affect your storytelling?
So early on, greatly, because I had to make a decision early on, and it was very hard for me because I was deacon at my church at the time. So in telling the story, I had to make a decision on, am I going to write to how I feel about these characters, what I feel in my heart concerning these characters, or am I going to write it to what will be palatable to people that are in church, clergy, you know, whatever, and pretty much your constituents, because you know, if you're a deacon in the church, you were elected to that office. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fivefold ministry office. It's, you know what I mean? So and I have to take that responsibility seriously, and I always did. And I mean I still do, but it's so it was very hard for me in the beginning to be like, okay, I know this character would cuss here, but you know what I'm saying? But can I really put that in there and have people still respect me, kind of? You know what I'm saying? For my walk and what it is I'm doing with my life and stuff. And that was a very hard decision in the beginning, but I chose to be true to the character because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if you can't separate my walk from the content that I create, that's not my problem. That's you problem. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately. And when I first put out the novel, I warned people ahead of time, like, look, there's cursing, there's going to be adult themes in this book. And if that's something that you can't rock with, or if it makes you think less of me, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But that was a very hard thing for me. It's not like I snapped my fingers and came to that. That was the hardest thing that I had to deal with. And after I made that decision, then everything else flowed easier because it was like, I'm choosing my characters. I'm going to do what's true to them because I know ultimately the story that I'm telling for people that grew up in the church, people that never been to church, the story that I'm telling through LumberJax will reach people.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. You know what I'm saying? Because of what I'm setting up and the way that I'm setting it up. And that's one of the reasons that I get so excited between issues is because every issue that I do for LumberJax is ramping up things into another level of something that people can't fully grasp yet because I'm still building it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was definitely like in the beginning, having to make that decision of, are you going to be true to your character and what it is that you're trying to do? Or are you going to, you know, curtail things to what's palatable? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as a true artist, the artists that break through, the artists that make us have emotional reactions, the artists that evoke feelings out of us are the ones that stay true to what it is that they feel in their heart concerning whatever it is. So whether that's the writer, whether that's the actor, whether it's the director, the producer, as long as you stick to your convictions, you know what I'm saying, of what it is that made you do this in the first place, let everything else fall where it's going to fall. And that was definitely the hardest thing that I had to do to overcome, I guess.
I think that's I think it changes if you're exploiting things, right? Like if you were doing that to exploit a sexual nature, right? For just your sake of doing it, then that changes your, you know, your walk. Or if you're doing things purposely, not to evoke that emotion, but to just be, you know, avant-garde or whatever, or to really manipulate emotion as opposed to telling a story. I think that does change it. But again, growing up in that church background, I know how if you make sometimes the slightest move, somebody's judging you or somebody is saying, this is what you should or shouldn't do. So I get that. There's a lot. Well, I want to dive into the history of a couple things, right? So I'd like to start with the history of Fourth Wall Productions, and then I'll dovetail into the next question. So how did you and Danny meet and decide to do this and create what you guys are creating now?
Okay. So Fourth Wall really started. It started after a lot of other things. So I mean, I met Danny because, again, I was a deacon at my old church, and his when he was deployed to Iraq. For those who don't know that he served, um, he was deployed to Iraq in the army, and while he was deployed, he started writing for like one of his friends that he used to work with had a character that he used to mess with when he was in high school, but he never did anything with it. So
Are you saying
Danny,
what Danny is saying about you though? I need
that's not facts at all. What am I about to lie about? He don't even. Do you see what I'm saying? I have not even said anything.
I love it. I love it,
This
man.
is terrible. Anyway, so he was deployed to Iraq.
Mhm.
He started writing Ace Blade because his friend's character was Ace Blade. He had started him back when they were in high school. Danny took over writing. You know, he asked him to be writing when he was overseas. He started writing for him. He wrote a novel. Um, when he came back home is when I met Danny because I didn't know him before he got deployed. I met him after the fact because of his wife, my sister Tiana, went to church with us,
Mhm.
and I met Danny when he came back home. So he wrote the novel, and at the time that he wrote the novel, I was like mind blown because I didn't know that regular people could publish a novel. You know what I'm saying? Like I was mind blown. And I had been working on the story myself on the side that I hadn't shown it to anybody or anything like that yet.
Mhm.
And I sent it to Danny because he wrote that novel, and I wanted just to get his take on it. You know what I'm saying? To see what what he thought. And he was
Mhm.
like, I really like it. Can you help me come up? I'm thinking about starting the comic universe. Can you help me come up with some characters?
Mhm.
Uh, I didn't say I've never said you forced me. What I said is he asked me could I help him come up with some character names for his. He had a group called a Sit Squad that he started Fourth Wall with. Uh, so Ace Blade is the flagship character because that's the first one he wrote for. He wrote the novel first.
Mhm.
Then he started coming up with the concepts for the Six Squad, and he was looking for names of characters. And he was like, "Can you help him come up with some character names?" And I was like, "Nah," because I didn't grow up reading comics. Like I didn't. I watched Batman the animated series, but I didn't like watch a whole bunch of cartoons. Like I've never seen He-Man. I've never watched Conan the Barbarian. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff that as a kid I did not watch. I watched Looney Tunes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't even know if I can help you come up with characters or whatever. And over time, um, I got the idea from LumberJax because I would just watch. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, so I was watching Julius Peppers, and over time the story just started to develop itself. And where I am now versus where it started, of course, is drastically different. Um, but that's how everything started. You know what I'm saying? And we started writing together. He had Ace Blade. I wrote LumberJax. And things just evolved from there. I mean, me and him became, tight, and things have just grown since. You know what I mean? And we've gone through it used to be three of us. There was a friend named Marquise that was writing with us for a while. He had a character named Black Scorpion. So the first four characters were Ace Blade, LumberJax, Black Scorpion, and King Supreme.
Mhm.
Um, so at this point, our flagship characters are Ace Blade, LumberJax, pretty much. Harlem is coming, King Supreme is in. So I mean, the flagship characters will be Ace Blade, LumberJax, Harlem, and King Supreme. Um, and we're just building on that foundation right now.
Okay. All right. Just a real quick aside. You mentioned Batman the Animated Series, so I'm gonna take this chance to say, Danny, that's the best cartoon ever, not Teen Titans Go. So don't ever bring up Teen Titans Go again, Danny. I know Teen Titans Go even
Teen
has more
Titans Go is
episodes.
great.
He's gonna be like, oh, it's got more episodes, so it's better. It's not better than Batman the Animated Series.
I won't say that, but I'll say Teen Titans Go is great though. Like it's
Oh no, I agree
definitely.
with you. No, 100%. I even agree with him when he says it. No, it's done its thing, but don't call it a better cartoon just because it has more episodes.
I'm not getting into that with y'all. I argue with Danny enough. I'm not. Y'all can have that.
Cool. I remember it differently, Danny. Whatever. Uh, so you also have um, let's talk let's talk about some other things here. Let's talk about your
Okay.
haterism because I
What?
really wanted to. I'm
Haterism?
calling you hater again, man. It's my show. I get to manipulate things the way I want them.
That's
So
fine.
I wanted a behind the scenes look at the script. I wanted to read Ace Blade 3. And you were like, yeah,
Okay.
I'll show you. And then Ace Blade 3 magically came out and you were like, nah, you can't see it. Danny edited it. What's up? Why are you a hater? Why are you that person? Warren?
I don't remember any of that happening. I don't know if it's because I ate hot dogs earlier today and that affected my memory. I don't remember anything of what you're talking about right now at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what?
We are doing top 5 cartoons Tuesday too. I don't remember that.
On that show, I promise you, I'm going to be in the comments. I'm going to try and find my way to get on the live. I am dive bombing the top 5 cartoon show on Tuesday.
Listen, I'm sure it's going to be very contentious. I have no doubt about it because I feel like I don't want to. So we always keep our list a secret until we don't share. Danny does. Danny always breaks all the rules. Yeah, Danny always sends it to Kyron for whatever reason. So before the show, but none of us tell each other what our lists are before the show. Yeah. So there is one show. There's one cartoon that if it's not on your list, I want you to burn it. I won't say what it is. It should be obvious. If it comes to cartoons and this cartoon is not on your list of the best in the top 5, you just shouldn't have your list. You should burn your list because it's a waste of everybody's time. And I should not need to say what it is. I'm trying not to be Nanny tonight and start spoiling stuff, but it's very obvious.
I feel like you should spoil this one because I got 5 immediately, but my cartoon lore.
I swear to you. I swear if you say, go ahead and say the 5. Go ahead. I know
right off the top of my head, my 5 would be Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, Exo Squad, Batman the Animated Series. Because that wasn't really a good cartoon. Are we not counting manga? Anime? Just
no, not counting anime. No anime.
Ooh. My 5th? I don't know my 5th, man.
Oh my God. This is obvious.
I was say it, and if you're right, then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I just skipped over that one. I might be Andre 3000 in it. You know what I'm saying? Did you say? Wait a minute. So hold on, bro. I can't. You got to give me
The
a second.
Simpsons. The Simpsons. Oh,
yeah, no. You know what? I didn't think about it because I didn't go night cartoons. You're right.
Oh my God.
I went all daytime.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
the Simpsons is not on your list in the top 5. Throw your list away. 100%. Literally burn it.
100% agree with you.
I do mean burn it. Like I'm talking about. I don't care if you put the list on a tablet. If you put it on your
burn your tablet.
I want you to burn your tablet, burn your MacBook, burn your phone, whatever you have it on should not exist anymore because you're trash. If you don't have the Simpsons on your list.
Wait a minute here. So sorry, I had to do something because
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Because he got under my skin real quick. So, Danny, I need you to check your DMs because you are wrong, my friend. You are wrong.
Hey, listen. I completely get it. That's why we
do Bears or something that's a mask. Nah, bro. His list is no. Don't say.
I'm so sure Danny's gonna have the Animaniacs on there. Or
which I wouldn't be mad at, right? But Animaniacs wouldn't Looney Tunes and wouldn't exist without Tom and Jerry.
Animaniacs better not be on your top 5 list, bro.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't agree. It wouldn't. Animaniacs is literally a continuation or a parody of the old Looney Tunes cartoons.
Correct.
That. So how do you put them on there? Now I shot him the invite because he was talking mess, and you know how
I get it.
So
no, I told him. He asked me, was he supposed to come on? I said, if you want to, because I know, I know wifey there, kids, you know what I mean. So I'm like, I'm not, you know what I mean. It's up to you. Yeah. But I'm very sure this is going to be a contentious list. It might not be as contentious because Javon's going to miss it for a little bit.
Okay.
Adventure Time. I can see him talking about Adventure Time.
I think Adventure Time was good, but I don't know if it makes top 5 all time. Here he goes. Here goes the Mr. I'm always wrong.
Y'all not gonna make me spoil my list, but if Tom and Jerry is not a top
If
5.
Did you say Tom and Jerry's not top
What
5?
did you say?
What?
Tom and Jerry is not.
What? They have a whole cartoon where Tom commits suicide by train, bro. Like
It's
he-
the
Hallmark.
same.
So
It's
many-
the same show every episode. It's not top 5.
So Teen Titans Go.
No, Teen Titans Go not gonna make no top 5. But
No, it's the same show every. You know what? You get on my nerves. It's the same show every time. It's Tom and Jerry. It's the same show every time.
no, it's not. It's not at all. Stop it. I'm not even supposed to be on here right now. I just had to get on and let you know.
You was trifling, so that's fine.
I just had to let you know. That's not.
I don't care. I don't care if you're on or not. I told you that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make me a difference.
No.
I have to say, I can't say this. I cannot tell people this enough. People don't understand because people be thinking I'm joking. If there's not anything that I can think of that if I get approached for some type of deal, there is no deal unless Danny is in it. That's literally non-negotiable, right? I'm not gonna put that pressure on Danny. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what he would say. I know what my deal is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go nowhere and do nothing that my dude's not in. You know what I mean? So I don't care.
Told people. I have already told people that there is no Ace Blade without going anywhere without LumberJax and King Supreme at least. So if we got to build this thing from literally us 3 to whatever it becomes, then that's just how it is. But ain't no thing.
I was just saying that to say that I mean, if I'm somewhere doing anything, I mean, aside from if I'm married and stroking my wife, I don't, honestly, I wouldn't care if he was there for that.
Is he there? Is he there too?
Nobody
I
needs.
wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if he was there.
See, this is what Morgan's problem is. He always crosses, like, there's a line that you like when you're doing a professional interview.
No, he's
a true statement.
Habitual line stepper.
Habitually, he's always.
It was a true statement.
He's always going to step over. I don't care how true it is. You're not supposed to cross that line, and you do it every time you get live. That's why you be in Facebook jail all the time.
I apologize.
Him and Malachi.
I have not.
I
have I've not been in Facebook jail for like 6 months now. So
that's because you don't say much anymore on Facebook. Not because you don't deserve it. It's just because you don't open your mouth.
That's. I knew I had a Kickstarter coming up, so I'm just going. I've been tempted many a time, and I just say, no. You know what? I'm gonna let that pass for now.
Morgan gonna end up being one of them people that they have to pull like 70 episodes off of Spotify. Like, like in year 2042.
I am not Joe Rogan.
Like, hey, bro, we gotta pull like 100 episodes off your podcast, bro. We can't even.
I'm not Joe Rogan, bro. When you guys doing doing Justice, LumberJax, and Ace Blade crossover,
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know people try to get trade secrets out here.
Okay, Danny said, don't
worry. People be trying to get trade secrets out here, bro. You know what I mean?
They almost had me. I ain't gonna lie.
I saw it. I was gonna let you do it.
Something. They are not.
Paige, if you check out Nightfall 3, there's a lot of characters in there. I don't know with all the characters that's in there. I don't know how Ace Blade didn't make it, but I'm just gonna say.
No, so that's one. That's Justice number 3.
Justice 3. My bad. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, so look, they wouldn't let me say it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. My show. You might or might not see LumberJax and Ace in Nightfall 5. There might not be a cameo in there, so I mean, enter at your own risk.
See what y'all started?
Team spoiler alert! Don't tell nobody.
I ain't been in here 5 minutes and already spoiling stuff.
Look, man, I can't help it. I can't help it.
I got the purple beanie on. I gotta spoil stuff when I got the purple beanie.
That's impressive.
So
that is impressive. That's a superpower.
I wanna ask, obviously, since you both are here, but I'd like to get a little bit of the history of LumberJax, right? Because I know, well, I picked it up from the comics, right? So 1 and 2, and going into issue 3, there's a deep history that comes before that's been in the podcast and that's been in the books. So bring me and your readers up to date to like issue 1.
Okay. So LumberJax the origin novel that I wrote explains this. But so to give somewhat of a synopsis, LumberJax is the prince of Ethiopia. He is a refugee to New Orleans. Um, he he's a refugee because his grandfather was ruling Ethiopia. There was a coup. When the coup happened, his parents sent him away because he was the last. He's the seventh to last judge, which is a prophecy he gets from his grandfather before the coup takes place.
You're giving way too much already.
Isn't it in the book, though?
It is. It's in the book. It's in the novel. It's literally in the first chapter. What I'm telling you right now is in the first chapter.
Yeah, how is that a spoiler, Danny? Let the man speak.
Yeah, what I'm telling you now is in the first chapter. So I'm giving you the big backdrop as to so that you know where I'm building it to. So he goes to New Orleans. He was supposed to be going to Cuba because his mother's Cuban. Something happened there that prevented that from happening. He ended up in New Orleans. When he gets to New Orleans, he's a refugee. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He's pretty much getting passed from family to family in New Orleans.
This is when he's a kid. He's a kid at this point.
Yes, he was 13, 14 years old. Okay. A high school coach was there because Jax was just taking care of the grounds or whatever there. He's pretty much, like I say, he's being passed from family to family. So y'all make of that what you want. And the coach sees him and sees how huge he is and wants to get him into football. He gets him into football. Jax blows up. He's a huge football star. And in chapter 2, they win the Super Bowl. His family's kidnapped. And his family's kidnapped at the Super Bowl parade. And then all hell breaks loose because Jax is trying to get his family back. So for a long time in the novel, you're dealing with Jax trying to get his family back. There's a crossover with Ace Blade. There's a crossover with Gutshot. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna spoil that stuff. I'm just telling you. Ace Blade is in the novel.
There's an Ace Blade. There's an Ace Blade. The first Ace Blade LumberJax fight is in the novel. I ain't gonna say who won the fight, but you know,
I ain't gonna
say who won the fight.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm talking about? But it's all good. It is in the novel. Ace Blade is in the novel. And so like I said, you get the background lore for where Jax is and who he is. He's the seventh last judge on earth. And like I said, but a lot of the novel you're dealing with him and the trauma from what he went through getting exiled and also losing his family and trying to get his family back. So he's dealing with that. So when LumberJax #1 starts, you're watching LumberJax still trying to run from the mantle his grandfather told him about, while still living his life in New Orleans after. See, I hate that spoils it, but I mean after he gets his family back.
Okay.
So you're watching him still. Right now, we're watching Jax in crisis mentally and spiritually because of what happened to his country, his grandfather, and his family. And he's trying to run from that mantle. And that's why this one's titled Destiny by Any Means, because while he's in the midst of trying to deal with this stuff in New Orleans, in this comic, for those who have seen some of the graphics, the Dark Bloods, Conjure, Eternal, he can't run anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's no more running. I can't say why, but he cannot run anymore. If he does, it's going to have dire consequences for people he cares about and the country and Ethiopia as well. So
I feel like you said, "What? Stop saying stuff." Like I'm gonna tell you, stop. Like just he can't run no more.
Hey, like I said, this one's Destiny by Any Means for a reason, and I promise you, when you read it, you'll see why. And then the next one, what I'm hoping for is that we can get this one fully funded, and then once we get this one fully funded, then we can get. I'm hoping that we can get funded enough that I can release 3 and 4, so I can go ahead and make the trade. Because
so the next one is the story arc. The story arc is actually 4 issues and not 3, correct?
It's 4. Yeah.
Okay.
4 issues.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. I'm doing the same thing, so obviously I understand it and I get it. Trying to get that next book funded fully. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
and the Ace Blade crossovers make sense. It's not like me and Danny don't write stuff just to be like, oh man, you know, it'd be cool. Like if they, you know what I mean? Like it's got to make sense and knit the threads got to knit well. And for those who listen to the podcast too, all of the stuff that you hear is canon. So anything that you hear from our universe is canon. Well,
is that so?
There's an alternate ending. There's an alternate ending in Ace Blade that may or may not be.
Don't even bring it up. We're not even supposed to talk
I
about
didn't say it. I didn't say what it was. I'm just pulling to you.
Is it?
There's only 7 people right now who have bought that version of the comic who can even say that exists. So it doesn't exist until we say it exists.
I just said it exists.
So we got one from Ace. So Ace, I have all 3 comics: Ace Blade, LumberJax, and Justice. Along with those 3, if you had to make a Black Justice League, what other 3 Black characters would you add to make a full team? I can only add 3.
From indie characters or from any characters we want?
Yeah, Paige, from indie or anything. You got to give us some more parameters, bro.
Yeah, that's an important question,
man.
Because I mean, for indies, I got.
He said indie.
I saw Paige's pinpoint in
Bro, I was about to say the same thing.
Cosmo 3, Cosmo 8.
Everybody need a sharpshooter, bro. Every team need a sharpshooter.
Everybody need a sharpshooter. I would say
just 3 though. Okay.
I need hot shot. I need hot shot on the team for the power. And King Supreme. I mean, King Supreme is the most powerful being in the universe. So we got the heavy hitters. We got the ground with Pinpoint and Ace Blade. We got LumberJax and yeah, that's it. That's the whole team. That's easy.
So we only get 3 additional besides our 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely taking Harlem. Vigilance from FSK. Vigilance from FSK. And Casey from Like Father, Like Daughter. Ain't her name Casey?
Like Daughter.
Yeah.
Her name's Casey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's the assassin.
I haven't read Like Father, Like Daughter, so I'm not up on that. I'm gonna have to go.
It's Kat Calamia's comic.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. She if I had a 3, so I got Jax. Yeah. I'm definitely taking Harlem. That's non-negotiable. Like I'm definitely taking Harlem because if we need to bust heads wide open, I got my squad that's like, what y'all want smoke?
I need Harlem to learn how to control her powers though. She can't be burning everybody alive, bro. She got to get some control.
I feel like the only one who can run is Ace and maybe Pinpoint. They the human ones, so they got to stay out of the way. Everybody else is good. Burn it all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you ain't standing in the way, you ain't got no issues,
right?
Yeah.
I would have to actually go.
Right. I can't be running from fire all day.
I got to go Pinpoint. I got to go. Shouts out to the Glyph Award winning Acolyte because he's a heavy hitter. And I probably go. I don't know his name. I got to be honest with you because I always forget. But Robert Jeffries, Route 3, his character, because he doesn't have a super name. But I would probably go those 3.
Okay.
Solid.
That makes sense.
Avery the Astonishing. That's a good one.
I already got Avery and Nightfall, so I didn't want to repeat. I ain't gonna lie.
I gotta get out of here. My wife is calling me upstairs. I got some business to take care of. But I'll catch y'all.
Awkward. Wait a minute, awkward.
See what I'm saying? Now, how come it got to be all that when I say it, but now he gets to say it? Y'all know what you meant, man.
You did.
That's a business to take care of. That's all I'm saying. My wife runs a business. I run a business. We got some business to take care of.
I'm about to call her right now. I'm gonna mess up all that business.
Y'all are crazy, man. I love it, bro. I love the energy though, and I feel like I mean, obviously we're black, we're indies, and we're doing all this stuff, but like I feel like that connection is important. You know what I mean? Like you got to have that camaraderie and that brotherhood when you're really working with people like this. So man,
All day.
yeah, bro, I love to see it. See, even
Appreciate it,
Paige
man.
picked up on it, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying. He trying to act like we stupid out here,
Right, right. Oh, and
but
it's
but you want to get at me when I make what I say. You know what? I wouldn't mind if you happen to be in the room with me and wifey was getting it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right.
I don't care. So what?
So
I'm like 3/4 of an exhibitionist. I don't be caring.
you know, it is what it is at that point. Like we grown.
Yeah.
If you
Okay,
stay,
exactly.
that's on you at that point. If
There you go.
that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So what's in the future? What's coming? And I don't mean just like story wise. Obviously, you have this arc, and I don't want to spoil this arc. But I mean like beyond that, and the next thing, and the next thing, and in the future. What kinds of issues and kinds of things do you want LumberJax to tackle?
So my favorite stories and my favorite stories to follow, especially when it comes to superhero themed things, are characters that grow. One that like Dragon Ball Z is a huge favorite of mine because Goku always had something, a next level he was chasing.
Mhm.
And that is something that I want to do with Jax. You know, the deeper into things we get, the more lore that you learn about his necklace, where the powers come from. Like I can tell you now, like his powers, that, like I said, he's the seventh and last judge.
Mhm.
For those who don't know about, the judges in the Bible, and what that means. I mean, when we said a judge in the Bible, a judge was the person that when Israel would F up and go wilding out doing stuff that they didn't have any business, after a while, when they decided that they wanted to go back and do what God told them to do, God will raise up a judge, a person to deliver them, which was, usually some type of military force, some type of person that was from the military or had a militaristic force or something that delivered Israel from whoever was oppressing them. And so each one of the stones in Jackson's necklace stands for one of those judges. And as we continue to go through the comics, you'll learn who those judges are. I can say that you will learn who one of the judges is in this issue. You'll learn who one of the judges is. You won't learn all the powers from that judge in this one, but you will learn who one of the judges is. And as we continue to evolve, you'll learn that there'll be 6 trials. There'll be 7 trials that Jax has to go through at different points in times in his life. It's not spoiling anything. How is that spoiling something? They know what do you think is candy in the necklace? Anyway, so my favorite stories are stories where characters evolve. And Jax is definitely in an evolutionary process. I'll say that so that Danny doesn't think I'm spoiling things. Jax is in an evolutionary process as a person, as a hero. Again, because when you read LumberJax #1, he's not really necessarily feeling the hero thing. He just very much so a man after my own heart, as far as being very, very tapped into and passionate about justice and equality for everybody. And you'll continue to see him be that way, and you'll continue to see him grow as a character when he deals with spiritual issues, physical issues. I really wanted to be able to meld. That's why I chose New Orleans, because there's such a lore in New Orleans for so many different types of cultures. You know what I mean? So, and I really want to pull on that, and I want to be able to teach different parts of culture. Like that's one of the things that I love Greg Anderson, Elise is Nana for, because he's really bringing you into actual, African traditions, African religions. You know what I'm saying? Like he's bringing you into contact with those things and teach you about these things that are absolutely real that you might not know. And that's one of the things I want to do with Jax. I'm doing the same thing with Jax, with Ethiopia, with New Orleans, with the things he comes into contact with. So without me spoiling anything, so Danny stopped yelling. Yeah, I mean, and Harlem's story connects with Jackson's as well, and I'm very excited about getting into that too.
Okay, so can you talk about Harlem without spoiling Harlem or without spoiling
So
anything? I don't know anything about the character, so
Harlem. For those, if you listen to the Super Shorts podcast, this last season that we had, season 3, was the first time that me and Danny decided to write a completely connected story. What we did was Danny wrote the first one, and we took the pick up and kill it method to it, like from I don't know if y'all watch Wild 'N Out, but Danny would write something and not tell me what he was going to write, and then I had to just read what he wrote and then pick the story up from there, but make sure it stays connected. And we just kept doing that over and over again. So you also meet Harlem, and Harlem is Jax's niece, niece through marriage, and she is. I'm trying to think of a way to say this without spoiling anything. But if you haven't seen pictures of Harlem, one of her powers is she is able to manipulate fire. Of course, invulnerability. She's a very, very powerful character. Like she's more powerful than Jax is right now.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of a way. I can't think of a way to say it without spoiling anything, because Danny's about to say something, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But I all I can say is it's in the works. Literally pages, have been done. I cannot say when it's going to drop because that will spoil something. So
okay.
But it could be this year. I'll say it could be this year.
Okay.
Yeah. That way I won't spoil anything.
So Brad asked the same thing. Brad asked, when are we going to see? And Brad, as you heard, he said he can't spoil it, but it may be this year, which means it's going to be this year.
We're going to see I am doing everything that I can to make it this year. Because like I said, when LumberJax I'll say this. If we can fund LumberJax 3 and 4, Harlem is definitely coming out this year. If I get the stretch goal for this campaign, Harlem's definitely coming out this year. Awesome. If we don't, and I have to do a separate Kickstarter for LumberJax number 4, I can't guarantee Harlem comes out this year. You see what I'm saying? So because Harlem is next in line after I finish the LumberJax art. That's one from me. Because Danny's got King Supreme that they're getting ready to ship out for. Then he's got Ace Blade number 6. So I mean we're focused on getting LumberJax's arc done, the next story for Ace Blade and Harlem. Okay. That's my focus.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, look, I love it, bro. You like it, I love it. As we kind of close down and come to the end, I always ask, and I don't mean, because again, we have these things where what I like about doing this show is it's different than like when we normally get on and all we do is pitch the comic and we're really trying to sell, right? I really like to connect with the audience a little bit more. And so as an up and coming creator, not yourself, but if I was an up and coming creator, what advice what advice was the most important for you? Like the one thing that you got from somebody else or from one of your mentors or from, the community that was like the most important, had the most impact for you?
If I had to say one thing, the biggest thing for me is so for me, being a person that did not grow up reading comics, and coming from a more narrative background, one of the biggest things I had to learn is to be able to tell the story through the pictures more so than you do the words. So that for me personally, that would be that's a huge thing. If I'm talking to just a creator, up and coming creator, I think it depends on which aspect. I would say the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself as an up and coming creator is to build genuine relationships with people within the community.
I'm gonna like that you said genuine, right? And only real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but because community is what it is, There are a ton of people, right? And then you do connect with people, but there is a very, very big difference between just like a connection with people or somebody you politic with or make comments with or whatever, and having a genuine connection. So seek out those genuine connections because there's a big difference.
Yeah, I would say, because I mean, for me, one of the biggest things that matters to me in life, period, with anybody is authenticity. It's the first thing that attracts me to a person. It's the first thing that I'll notice about a person if I'm not feeling that they are. It means a lot to me. And me and Danny get approached all the time for crossovers, for let's work together, let's do this, let's do that, huh?
For cartoon deals.
Listen.
Look, man,
you being messy.
I am 100%. I don't care.
You being messy, bro.
Like, look, when I see certain things, I'm like, yo, come on, stop.
Yeah, you being messy, bro. To me personally, and the reason I say that about building the genuine relationships is because if you have those genuine relationships, number one, like I know that if I need feedback, if I write something and I need feedback on it, I have countless people within the community. Brad, why are they trying to make us spoil stuff?
Right.
It's terrible.
Mike Watson's in here chatting.
What up, Mike? What up, Mike?
SK.
Hey, Mike.
Myth the legend. What's going on, Mike?
Veronica is coloring your cover. I expect to see it before tomorrow night, and I'm gonna run that joint everywhere once I do. Once I get it. But I think the community thing is very important. One, because it's extremely important in multiple facets. One, when you do Kickstarters, if you have genuine friendships within the community, we all support each other. So me and Danny talk about this all the time. I literally, when y'all launch campaigns, I literally don't look. I don't even play the video. I don't look down the page.
You don't even
the only thing
hit that back button.
I'm backing it immediately. Yeah. Right now, I personally will always back at the physical level. So I'm just looking for whatever tier has a physical level, and then once I go back through there, because I'm competitive, so I want to be number one. I want to be the first backer. I'm really not.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still mad.
but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mean to pop my collar. And then,
I blame Tony more than I blame you, but I'm still not happy about
it. But yeah, I mean, but that's because of genuine friendships. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm gonna support my people, period. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I've taken my stuff off of my debit card to my credit card just because you know what I'm saying? If somebody pops up like, I don't know what's in this account, I'm put it on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm put it on here or whatever, because to me it's that important. It's that important to back each other. And when you can start a Kickstarter knowing that you have that backing at the least from your community, and then you can build on top of that with your fan base, is very important. The second reason is because, again, when we do these shows, if I have a script that I'm not sure about, if I want to get somebody's first impression, I can shoot it to you. I can shoot it to Lori Foster. I can shoot it to Mike. I can shoot it. You see what I'm saying? I got countless people that I can shoot this script to. Know that y'all gonna keep it quiet and just give me your, because again, the thing that means the most to me is that authenticity. Don't give me BS feedback.
Yeah.
Tell me what you really think. You're not gonna make me better if I can't get better if you're not gonna tell me what you see or what you don't see.
Yeah.
And it's very valuable to me from people that I respect within the community to be able to give me that feedback so that I can become a better writer. Or if it's dope, tell me it's dope, because it means more to me, because I know you're not BSing me. You see what I'm saying? Like Amani just did a review of the LumberJax #1 and #2. And I'm very thankful for it, because again, he's doing critiques. He had just done Hot Shot 2. You know what I'm saying? And I feed off of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes me better. And I want to be the best writer I can, especially because I'm not coming from a background of reading comics growing up. So there's a lot of things within comics and comic script writing and stuff like that I still have to learn. And it's a blessing to have people in the community that I can go to. So
Yeah.
for me, for a young creator, I think that's the most important thing you could do by far. When it comes to the creative aspects, I would say you need to figure out, one, what your voice is, and two, what your process is. From me starting to write till now, one of the things I really realized that I love, that I didn't always have in the beginning, was a outline. Just somewhere for me to throw. You know how, in TV shows or like, police dramas or something like that, you had a whiteboard and you write stuff down and you put pens up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is immensely a huge part of my process now. And it started because me and Danny wrote the podcast. We wrote this last podcast season 4 that we haven't released yet. We decided what we wanted to do. We talked about it, and going from the game plan that we started with to where it ended up is two completely different things. But we would not have gotten to that other thing that was way better if we didn't start with that first thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I meant to make that shorter, but it was just all three of those things for me are like really. And I'm not saying everybody needs an outline. Everybody has their own writing process. I'm just saying for me, I found that that's like invaluable now. You know what I'm saying? To have that outline so that I know at least what I was thinking in the beginning. Because I like to leave space in between for me to play with. You see what I'm saying? I love that because I surprise myself. You know what I'm saying?
Uses an outline, bro. I feel like all of us could. You know what I mean? Like I was the same way. I used to not use outlines, but then when you have all these story beats that you want, you don't have to follow them necessarily, but at least you have those that can kind of guide you through what you're supposed to be talking about and still do your thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I don't know. I think sometimes, especially as younger writers, I know as a younger writer before, like I learned how to write, I thought that like it was restricting, like, oh man, I got to do this and I got to do that because this one came after this one. Nah, you can do what you want with it, but you don't want to lose those awesome ideas that you have. And like you said, like playing in between those lines, I think it helps. I don't know how many times, I don't know if you do this, man, but I've woken up in the middle of the night sometimes. I'm like, oh, you had a good idea, like, because you dreamed it. And you're like, all right, I'm going to just wait. I'm going to write it down in the morning because I'm going to remember. And then you get to the morning and you have no clue what it is, right?
Exactly.
So you write that down right there. So you got that bullet point.
My best ideas always come while I'm at work. Yeah. So I'll be at work doing, I can get a whole comic idea from being at work and seeing something. And I write that, like, I got a whole idea for one of my villains named Chaos. I got an idea for a villain named Chaos because I was at Chick-fil-A and a dude in front of me was in a truck. And for whatever reason, I was like, bruh, what if this dude just was wild and just shot this person? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if they just shot this person and rode off, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing was wrong with what they just did. How would we, as the people in this line, view it? Right. But the person that's in that truck had a reason that made perfect sense to them.
Yeah.
And if you could see it from their view, it might make sense to you too.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I worked from that thought process, put that down, and then came up with the whole, because when people meet Chaos in the fourth wall universe, I want Chaos to be, I like making characters that confound you. Like Dexter was one of my favorite shows because Dexter had you at a place like, yes, no, I should not be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. I should not like that. Darn it. You know what I'm saying? And I love writing characters like that. That's why I love the Preacher. I'm going to push all the buttons with the Preacher for as long as humanly possible. And it's because of my experiences in the church, both genuine great ones and crazy ones. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm trying to feed people back things that they've actually experienced. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I know the Preacher connects with people because people see the Preacher's picture at cons. People will look through the whole book that we have on the table and see the picture of the Preacher and be like, I know what he's about. And I'd be like, you don't. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you don't, but you're interested. You know what I'm saying? And I did not make the Preacher for that reason. I made the Preacher to be able to, he's another outlet of stories that I need to tell. But if I don't write my ideas down, I'm so glad the phones have the note thing on them. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
Oh
Bro,
my God.
look,
Oh
between
my God.
notes and screenshots for me, I'll go back before I write a story and I gotta be like, wait a minute, I think I got a screenshot for this. Like, let me put this in
I'm
the reference
telling
folder.
you, I got between notes. So for me and Danny is notes and Google Docs.
Yeah.
Google Docs. We wrote that entire script for season 4 in Google Docs. That's the best to me. That's the best way to write something together with somebody by far. It's not even close.
Oh, you know,
You know what I mean?
you know what I mean? Like, you can do it live. You can just add in. You got different colors most of the time, so you know. Oh, he added this. I added. Yeah, it's great. It is
Yes,
great.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
The
And all y'all can be signed in at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love being able to talk to people that are, you know, when people reach out about just starting out and like stuff to dare. Because Danny be talking about like I be lying about something or saying that he forced me to. I never said he forced me to do anything. He inspired me. You know what I'm saying? I was already writing for myself.
Yeah.
Him publishing that novel himself inspired me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that made me be like, yo. And when I sent it to him, that's what sparked. I love writing my entire childhood. I got awards for it when I was little. You know what I'm saying? For poetry and for writing short stories and stuff like that. I got awards when I was in school for it.
Yeah.
But when I got picked on when I was a kid. So when I got to a certain age, because I could sing, you know, I wrote like, you know what I'm saying? I'm this artistic kid, but I played sports. But when I got to middle school, I was like, man, I don't know what I can say or what I can't. I'm
good.
Okay. I'll edit it. These Negroes these Negroes aren't gonna kill me at school, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I started making conscious decisions to say, okay, like I literally had literal thoughts, like the people getting on the school bus talking about what their grades were. They're like, bro, this whole gave me a C, or gave me a D or whatever. And I'm sitting quiet because I know doggone well I got straight A's. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to be on the bus. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not about to be on the bus being that guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is like, bro, this whole gave me a C, she gave me a D or whatever, like, or they're mad because they got a B. And now I'm in AP and honors classes this whole time. So what I look like being like, man,
she should get an A+. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You should be like, yeah, she the whole game. Yeah, bro. I know.
As soon as I do this, it's gonna. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get hit right now. So I started making literal conscious decisions not to do that stuff. So and writing was one of the things that went out of the window. So when Danny wrote that novel, it reignited something in my head saying, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this.
Yeah.
And it got me right back into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. I think a lot of us, even whether or not we'll talk about it or whatever, we had a lot of instances. Look, I was the guy, I played sports too, right? So like I just never told nobody, but I always had comic books in my bag. And I was always like, my teachers knew because I was drawing on like my tests and you know, shit like that. But also like my lack of focus, like I was one of those guys that the first 10 weeks I wasn't doing nothing, like nah. And then I got a fail, right, going into the first 10 weeks. So I'm like everybody else. But then them last weeks, I do all my work and they end up with a B. And the teacher's like, bro, you could have just been working this whole time and not have to work no harder. And I'm like, you understand my struggle. Like,
bruh.
But
I literally talked to my daughter about this because she is spitting image of me in so many ways. And she's doing the same thing me and her mom did, AP and honors classes and stuff like that. But we're procrastinators. You know what I'm saying? So I have to talk to my daughter ahead of time and be like, baby, please listen to daddy when I tell you this. Please. Please. I know that you can do it. I know you feel like Samson. I know you feel like you just be like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And just walk in there and do it.
Yeah, right.
And you probably can. Yeah. You probably can. But the thing I'm trying to prepare her for is because she get ready to go to college. She'll be a senior next year. So I'm like, you don't want to go into college with that mentality because I promise you, it will once your GPA gets punched in the mouth in college. It's not easy to pull that up because it really isn't.
Yeah. College is a whole different beast.
Yes,
it's completely different beast.
So I'm trying to prepare her for that now mentally.
Yeah.
Because like I told her, I said, if you know you don't like getting up early in the morning, Guess who's got control of what time your class is?
Right.
You.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't even play yourself.
Right. Start your classes at 11. It's okay.
Exactly.
And everything fine. You're good. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel the same way. Like as creatives, all of us are different. You know what I'm saying? And all of us have our own struggles. But I know what I have to do, and if I want to get something done, I'm like, all right, I need to write this chapter today. I need to write this script today.
Yeah.
I can't do that sitting here. If I sit in the house, ain't gonna happen, buddy. It's too many distractions.
I've started to do well, I break it into pieces, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you got chapter 4 to do, you got the Kickstarter launch, whatever the week is. And I'm like, all right, Monday and Tuesday, you finish the Kickstarter. Wednesday and Thursday, you write X amount of pages, Friday, you know what I mean? So that, because I also feel like sometimes we overburden ourselves a lot. Like, because we know, oh man, I got this idea, I got that idea. And that's one thing that I hear from like a lot of artists, especially and artists talk to writers like this all the time. And I know you've experienced it where an artist will hit you up and they're talking about, oh yeah, man, it'd be great if you could write, or, trying to do that thing. And they're like, oh yeah, I got characters and all these stories. Like you don't have them yourself, right? Like they say it like a magical thing, like, oh yeah, because I could do all of this. And you're like, bro, do you know the super highway in my mind of ideas that I have to calm down in order to do?
I don't think people get it. But at the same time, I parse that out ahead of time. So like when I'm asked to write for something, look, until I get this first arc done, you know what I'm saying? Like I love it. I love it, and I love the idea of it, but the chances of me doing it are slim. You know what I'm saying? Because I've asked, people have asked for team ups and crossovers and stuff like that, and I'm not opposed to it. It just in this moment, in this time right now, I know how my brain works, and I know full well that until this is done, you know what I mean? If I start, I know I can't commit to it. And I know, again, in order for me not to procrastinate, in order for me not to, mess around and not do this, I personally had to learn, again, this is why I say it, like as a creator, figuring out what works for you is very important. If I'm sitting in the house, my PlayStation's too close to me. The TV's too close to me. There's too much stuff that can be bothering me.
Yeah.
If I leave the house and go somewhere remote, right? Like a lot of times I'll literally drive to the park in my car and just sit out there. And all I got is my phone. And I'll just write it on docs.
Yeah.
I don't mind writing I write on my phone more times than anything else. But I'm away from everything else. So I can't distract myself with anything other than my phone.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I just have to remove the distractions. So that, and then once I do that, I can really like bang through something. But for some people, it's like when you study, some people need background noise, so they play lofi beats. Some people need complete silence. Just got to figure that out. But once you do, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
To me anyway.
Amen to that. Well, Morgan, man, thank you for coming on. Always thank you for the lively conversation. You know what I mean? I have a real good time joking with you, and we know behind the scenes we work together and we talk all the time and everything. So, I mean, I don't want anybody else to think that it's anything else, man, but love. I'm really, really happy to see where LumberJax is. You guys are just about 500 away from the goal. I know you guys are going to get it. I'm really happy. Look, if you guys are watching, if you haven't supported, please go support. LumberJax is an awesome comic. Fourth Wall is an awesome company, and obviously you see how we all get along. So obviously they're friends of mine, but I also really value their opinion as creators and what they're doing to infuse into this community of creators and community of Black creators that are showing that we are more than just, again, like Morgan and I, we're more than just the sports we play. We're more than you know what I mean? Like we're multifaceted people and creatures. So again, thank you so much. Give me all your socials so everybody can find you, and then we'll be out of here, sir.
So I mean, hey, look, Mike is so serious about that, bro. Like he is in complete and full competition mode. He's in complete and full competition mode for who's going to sell the most covers. And I think at the moment, I mean, Guida won't count only because Guida is the main cover.
Yeah.
But for the various covers, I think they're tied. I think it's one. Yeah, I think it's 1-1-1 right now because I did do a package that's strictly for like you'd be able to get the LumberJax #3 and then get the variant for that artist. So I did do that like the other day. T-shirts too. He really wants people to get the T-shirts. Yeah. So that's why I told him Veronica's coloring his cover. Okay. Because he's y'all don't understand. Like if you go back and watch Chat and Draw from Monday night, Mike is so serious.
Yeah. Hey, it's a
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Veronica's colors are. I was saying that the cover itself is fly, and Veronica's colors are amazing as well. So,
yeah, I mean it's these to me are the best. These are the best variant covers. They're extremely dope variant covers. Ryan Robinson did an awesome variant cover for me on LumberJax #2 too. But these covers are amazing. Like but I mean, anyway, Morgan Iverson on Facebook, LumberJax on IG. I have 2 on IG, but the LumberJax handle on IG, I think, is the LumberJax. It's the let me look it up real quick. It's the underscore. Yeah, the underscore LumberJax, and the E in lumber is a 3. Everything else was taken for whatever reason. People be taking LumberJax, but
I mean, it sounds cool though. So I mean, honestly, you got to be like, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it looks
cool.
They're just
it looks good.
They're just biting. They're biting.
I mean, they're not the original. Obviously, I know that. I'm just.
They're biters. It's cool. I have a TikTok, and it's the same as it's the exact same handle as the IG handle, the underscore LumberJax, same spelling. And I think that's all the social medias that I'm on. Of course, for the Top 5 Live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. We go to Fourth Wall Comics on YouTube. You subscribe, you never miss an episode. And fourthwallpros.com. That's where they find everything at. If you go to www.fourthwallpros.com, I can type that in. I think it's plus ultra. .com/plus ultra. That is for the website that has all the links to all of our stuff, the YouTube, Danny's Design Studio, the comics, the podcast, all of that.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna put it in the comments now. So if anybody is missing out, that is where you can find all of the Fourth Wall goodness. Before we get out of here, too, I meant to do this at the beginning, so I apologize. And I always forget to do these hauls. But shouts out to Stranger Comics because I got my haul in today. Niobe She Is Death #1. I got the Untamed hardcover. I got, what else did I get? Niobe She Is Life hardcover. And mine, I got Genlock. The art of Genlock, because even though the cartoon was kind of trash, and I heard some things about Rooster Teeth as a company, Genlock itself looks beautiful. The cartoon itself is beautiful. So, again, thank you, Morgan, for being here. I'll definitely get you on again in the very near future. Until next week, everyone, I will see you.